Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Today is Valentine's Day, and although I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day in any real traditional way, it does make me reflect on important people in my life. Plus, I do like the chocolate aspect of Valentine's Day, and in fact I will show you some very pretty chocolates that I picked up this weekend. They were almost too pretty to eat, but we got over that and they were delicious. So these chocolates are made here in Calgary and they really are incredible. Okay, so back to what we are here for. The BookTube community has become an important part of my life, and I've met some great people through it. So I thought that I would spread some BookTube love, and even though I know it's not Tuesday, I also decided to turn it into a tag so that we can spread the love throughout the community. And I know that there are other tags out there that are similar. There's the BookTubers I Love tag and things like that, but I tried to make this one just a little bit different. So really the whole idea is to share some BookTube love within the community, which is, constantly changing and growing, and to shout out the people who are part of the community. So, because it's February 14th, I have 14 prompts. And of course, if you choose to do this tag, you can do, all of the prompts or any of the ones that you like the best. So, there's really no rules. So let's get started. The first prompt is to spread some love to booktubers who inspire you. And for this prompt, I am going to send some love MJ's way. MJ's channel is Reading This Life, and MJ inspired this video because she has done a couple of videos where she shouts out 3 to 4 newer channels. People just starting out in the community, and I always love that she introduces me to people that I might not have known otherwise. Starting out is always really hard, and people can kind of get lost in the algorithm. So I really like that MJ shines a spotlight on new people to the community, and I guess this tag is a way of passing that along. In that spirit, the next prompt is to shout out smaller BookTube channels. So now I still consider my own channel a smaller and newer channel, so you can decide what a small channel means to you. So first I'm going to shout out Michael Romeo Talks Books. Michael started his channel about a month ago, and he has a few videos up already. His top books of last year, he has a few book reviews. So if you don't already know about Michael and Michael's channel, then that's one to definitely check out. Another one is Thea from Book Talks with Mrs. Thomas. I think Thea is now over 100 subscribers, and Thea is great. She is so enthusiastic, and she has recently done a video about unfluffy Valentine books. Erin Facer is another channel that I have really been enjoying, and I've been watching some more of his videos lately, and I think that other people would really like his channel too. So definitely check out Erin's channel if you haven't already subscribed. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl started her channel, I think just over a month ago, and I am just getting to know her, but so far I am liking her videos. And then the last channel that I want to shout out for this prompt is The Ritual of Reading. Her videos are really spectacular. They have a really cool vibe, and the focus is really on the filming or videography, and it's just very different and really amazing. So that's another channel to check out and spread some BookTube love. Just go out and support all of these people. So the third prompt is to shout out BookTubers who live near you. So as a Canadian booktuber, I always feel a kinship with other Canadian booktubers, and there are a number of us now, and I am happy to say that the Canadian, booktube community just keeps growing. So the 3 booktubers that I can think of off the top of my head that live the closest to me are Pei from Attention. Pei is great. He's so creative with his videos. He uses his art, his writing, his music, and he's created a lot of really great videos. Next closest to me would be Fraser from Fraser Simon's Springboard Thought. And Fraser is also great. Fraser can review a book like nobody else. He gives really good overviews of the books that he reads, and he reads a wide range of books too, and he always gives me, new perspectives on the books. And then the third booktuber that comes to mind is Lindy from Lindy's Magpie Reads. Lindy is lovely. She reads a wide variety too. She talks about graphic novels, picture books, literary fiction. It seems she's always doing some kind of book event, and she reads very thought-provoking books, and then she describes it all with such a gentle spirit. The next prompt is to shout out booktubers from other continents than yours. So for this one, there's actually quite a few booktubers that I do follow from other continents, and I am going to shout out Becky from Teacup the Storyteller. I love how excited she gets about books when she's talking about them. And I am currently doing a buddy read with Becky. Becky is from Slovakia, but she is in Scotland right now. I hope I don't have that mixed up. I think that's right. Also, Nikki from Red Dot Reads, who is from Singapore. And I love hearing Nikki talk about books too. And in one of her most recent videos, she has her dogs behind her, and she talks about books that she picked up from a bookshop in Singapore. That brings me to booktubers you want to shout out because of their furry reading companions. So I've mentioned Nikki, and actually Lindy also has a cat that makes cameo appearances. Gina Stanier from Gina Stanier Books has cats, and when Gina talks about books, it's like she's invited you into this cozy space for story time. It's so great. And obviously Summer from Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. I mean, the cats, they're right in the title. And then there's Mark too from Book Time with Elvis. And Elvis is his dog, not the king of rock and roll. And Mark is from, or living in the Czech. So I think that that's true. So many of the booktubers could be in like several of these prompts. So what are we at now? Number 6. Okay, so number 6 is booktubers you've enjoyed doing buddy reads or group reads with. So for this one, I have to give a big shout out to the Up to No Good book club. This group is with AJ Dunn from AJ Dunn Reads and Writes, Shelley Swearingen from Shelley Swearingen's Library, and Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot, and then 2 of our friends and subscribers who I am going to talk about in just a little bit. This group, we've read the entire Thomas Cromwell trilogy by Hilary Mantel together, and we do have plans to read some more books coming up, but we just have a lot of fun, and it's just been a great group that has gelled very well. I am also currently reading Ocean at the End of the Lane with Becky from Teacup the Storyteller, and I have finished the book, and so we're just waiting to chat about it. And that's also with V from the Sassy Library Fox. I've been enjoying reading with both of them, and I have also just started reading Great Expectations with Art at Bookshelf Odyssey. And I started late with this group, so I am slowly catching up, and then one of my next buddy reads is going to be with Gemma from Gem of Books, and I'm really looking forward to that in March, because I love Gemma's energy. She's so much fun. So next I want to focus on the people who help make the BookTube community so great. And that is subscribers and commenters who don't necessarily have a channel. And these are really important people who make this community what it is, because there's really, what would the point be in making content if people weren't interested? So I want to shout out a few people and send some love to Christine and Karen, who I think have been commenting on my videos almost from day one. And we've also, done several buddy reads together. And I've had a lot of fun getting to know them and, really appreciate their support. I also want to shout out Deb and Sonia, who are part of the Up to No Good reading group that I talked about earlier. They are fantastic, and they give good feedback about, what they like and what they don't like, and they've also been very supportive. I also want to mention Nitu, who has been, commenting and always so encouraging. Kelly, who follows along with, Canada Reads and some of the Canadian literature, and always has great comments. And the Quiet Midden also comments. So there are so many people. So even if I haven't said your name, I want you to know that I know that you are out there, and I do read all of the comments on my channel. I appreciate all of them, and I do try to respond as well. So this is just a huge thank you for your support to me and to the BookTube community. You really do make a difference. The 8th prompt is to shout out some BookTubers who are newer to you. So some of the newer BookTube channels that I have just started watching are Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, love the name. Berna reads a wide variety of genres, which I really like, and I am enjoying getting to know her a bit. Jason Harrigan is also a new to me channel. I've been watching some of his bookshelf tours, and the guy has some incredible treasures, and he's so knowledgeable. And another channel that is new to me that I've been, watching a bit of is Rainy from Rainy Blue Reads. And Rainy has some very unique videos, like basing her TBR off of Friends, the show Friends, and doing a pairing of books and songs. Okay, so this next prompt is to spread some love to booktubers who read different books or genres than you. So for me, this is one of the reasons that I love BookTube, and I often will, look for people who read differently than I do. So I actually have quite a few on my list, and I'm going to begin with Ollie from Criminali. Ollie talks about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing, and he always has books that I've never heard of. He's also the catalyst behind the 100 Books Challenge, that a few of the booktubers are doing. I am not one of them. David Wiley is another booktuber that, reads books that I wouldn't normally even know about. And I love how much David loves his books. He reads a lot of fantasy and older books that, I didn't know existed. Michael K. Vaughan is another booktuber that reads books that, again, I wouldn't know about otherwise. And he has such an interesting collection of books as well. And he's compelling to watch as he talks about his books. And then another booktuber would be Jen from Remembered Reads. Jen reads an interesting mix of books. And, I often add several books every time I watch one of her videos. And these booktubers they also have, books in common with me, but for the most part, they, keep me on my toes with a part of the book world that I am not familiar with or usually aware of. And just like there are booktubers who read different books and genres, there are also many who have, similar tastes. So when they recommend a book that I haven't read, I can trust that their recommendations might be a good fit for me. So the next prompt is to spread some love to booktubers who have similar tastes. So for this one, I want to shout out Kim from Middle of the Book March. We have a lot of overlap with our reading, but Kim also has a lot of recommendations that I either haven't heard about or that she reminds me of. And Kim talks about books in a really concrete and intelligent way. And I will also shout out AJ Dunn from AJ Dunn Reads and Writes on this one too, because we have very similar tastes, I think, and I have a number of books on my TBR because, you know, AJ said they were good, and that's good enough for me. It's probably a good indication for me that I will like it. Sarah from Hardcover Hearts is another booktuber that we have a lot of books in common. Often I have either read the books that she talks about or I want to read the books that she talks about. So Sarah's channel is, you know, another one that makes my TBR explode every time I watch a video. Up next, prompt 11 is to shout out booktubers who are great at tags. So there are a few that do a great job, but for this one I am going to shout out Jim at Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff. Jim did original and very well thought out tags using the alphabet, and they took the BookTube world by storm. And then he recently put out a tag based on numbers. So Jim is one of the kings of BookTube tags. The next prompt is to shout out any BookTube projects that you join or follow or would like to join and follow. This is another thing that I love about BookTube. There is always something going on, and there's, you know, something for everyone. And if not, you just build it and they will come. I have been impressed by a number of even more recent projects. So one would be Shelley Swearingen and David Wiley's Eclectic Book Club. I mean, that group, they read the Iliad and the Odyssey, which, like, that's a big commitment, so that was amazing. Same with Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot and her 1001 book club. AJ Dunn has the Killer Reads book club, and a number of things are, you know, coming up in March. And Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading, yes, Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading has an entire video about, I think, 4 things coming up in March that she's contemplating joining. Jen the librarian is doing a monthly LGBTQ and translation read along. But I think the really big project that I want to shout out is the BookTube Prize. Robert from Barter Hordes organizes the entire BookTube Prize, which must be a labor of love because there are over 200 judges to have to, you know, keep track of, and yet it's been so successful. And I wanted to shout Robert out and, you know, send some love his way because he keeps all of us in line, and he keeps us all, you know, the whole thing running very well. This is my first year judging the BookTube Prize, and I have been so impressed by how smoothly it has gone. So the next prompt is to shout out booktubers who always cheer you up. So I have 2 people for this. First is Leo. Leo Bancroft has a great channel. The channel is probably about, I'm going to guess, 3 to 4 months old now. And Leo does some really cool things, like talking about nonprofits that are doing good work, and queer shout-out book reviews. So that's really good. And then the second channel I want to shout out is Bob from Bob the Bookerer. Bob reads a number of the literary prizes, including the Booker Prize. And he cracks me up because he'll say, I'm going to cut back on my reading. And then he continues to tell you how he's going to read, like, every book that's ever been written. So he cracks me up. And then the last prompt is to tag some friends. And I think what I'm going to do is, if I have shouted you out, you know, in the prompts or in this video, and you want to do the tag, please go for it. There's so many booktubers that I watch and that I love that I haven't mentioned. So there's still a lot of love to spread around, and I will leave a link to all of the channels that I mentioned in the description box below. So please have a look at that. You know, if there's any new to you and you feel like going and supporting their channels, that would be great. I have always been impressed by how welcoming and supportive this community is. So let's continue that by spreading some BookTube love. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Valentine's Day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.